the struggle with Korach, who led a rebellion against Moshe and Aaron as the leaders of the Jewish people, we find an interesting terminology in reference to God, to Hashem. He's called Elokei Haruchot L'chol Basar, the God of all spirits within the flesh, the man of flesh and blood, the human being. Which means that God is able to see the spirit, the emotions, the intellect of every human being. In this phrase, we have a paradox. On the one hand, we are referred to as basar, flesh and blood, the human being. On the other hand, we are referred to the ruchot, the spirit within us. Which is it? Are we basar, are we flesh and blood? Or are we ruchot, are we the spirit, the emotional, the intellectual? And the answer is, we have both. The human being isn't just a robotic or animalistic being that does things on the outside, acts on the exterior. But we actually have the ruchot, we have a spirit inside of us, which is our motive. It's the emotional state within us, the intellectual state within us, which is equally important in the performance and the behavior of every single human being. It used to be, once upon a time in the classroom, that the student was based and judged on his performance. The basar element, the exterior. How did he behave? How did he study? And what were his marks in the test? But over time, education has developed. And now we've come to learn that there is a ruach, there is a spirit within every single individual. The student cannot just be based and judged on their exterior and their behavior. We need to understand the motive, the spirit behind them, and what exactly is going on inside their emotions, inside their intellect. When we look at every single Jew, we need to realize that God doesn't just judge them based on the basar, He judges them also based on the ruach, on the spirit too. And so too when we look at individuals too, whether it's our spouse, whether it's our children, whether it's anyone else that we interact with, we must recognize the two and realize that there's something so much deeper to this individual than just his flesh and blood. There is a spirit, there is a neshama, a soul with emotions and intellect too. Shabbat Shalom.